how has your writing practice evolved over the years?
Yeah. How has it evolved? No? I'll
Hmm,
tell you.
hmm,
It's um it's moved from being a kind of luxury uh, to having become a necessity. And let me explain that again. Because it's also related to life.
hmm,
Because it's impossible to separate the two. When I quit advertising to remake myself as a writer, it
hmm,
was it was I could do it. I was privileged enough to do it. I didn't have bills to pay that were demanded a 9 to 5
hmm,
job.
hmm,
I was supported. I was lucky,
hmm,
and so I could give from, let's say, 2004 when the first book came out to 2014 when my father had his first heart episode, and I had to kind of rearrange my entire life and start earning again, and therefore reinsert myself back into what I had left for those 10 years and little more than 10 years, really, 14 years almost. For 14 years, I had the great gift of unadulterated time and attention to that craft. Okay. And which meant also meeting other writers. I mean, it was really an immersion. It was really immersion. And that's how my novels got written, because you can't write novels otherwise in bits and pieces.
hmm.
So I think, but after 2014, when I realized I had less time, and remember I said when that the less time I had, the more I valued it.
Yeah.
So one of the ways in which my practice has changed, and as I mean literally like the daily practice of it, I no longer can sit at my this very same desk at 9 a.m. and say, okay, now I will write the next chapter of Rupture. So what did I write yesterday and continue till lunchtime? No, I can't do that anymore. I have to find inventive ways by which I can carve out pockets of time to do the writing that is not for, not for earning money, but for the sustenance of the inner being.
Hmm.
So and that sustenance requires me to focus in very short, sharp bursts. It could be night, it could be any time at all. It could be working it into I did this once, Sandeep, and do forgive me if this is too much detail, but I at one point I got a little terrified that going to forget how to write creatively, and I'll just be a producer of material for various platforms, or things that I need to do. Um, and I said, how much time can I actually give it? Writing that I'm just doing for myself. And I said, half an hour.
Hmm.
Okay. I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that the format. I'm going to make that the format. I'm going to look at my computer clock. It's 15:22 now. Till 15:52, I am going to write.
Okay.
And whatever I write, that's it for today. If I get half an hour at night, I'll write. As a result, I wrote a series of things which I then later gave it a form. I edited. It's called the Encyclopedia of Everyday. So
Hmm.
I use the
Limitation. Yeah.
the limitation, and
Hmm. Hmm.
that is what that is how I have evolved. Whereas
Hmm.
earlier it was wide open playing field. I could go anywhere, I would do anything. I was limitlessly free, and I'm
Hmm.
very
Hmm.
grateful for that, because I would never have built up that body of work. But now I have to be more. It's like, it's not like guerrilla warfare, because I'm not fighting for anything. It's
Yeah.
perhaps my own sanity, because I do
Hmm.
need
Hmm.
things. So I find ways to do it, and I turn them into a form that then becomes acceptable to me as a poet, or
Hmm.
or as a fiction writer. This encyclopedia of everyday is not really poetry. It's a kind of a hybrid thing.
Right.
So then I invent ways around the limitations that reality has imposed